We got an empty trailer, a little bit of cash. We're heading north. It means we're going to pick up our next flip. It's a 2003 Mustang Mach 1. Pretty low miles. Owners owned it for about 10 years. I looked at it last week, but they actually had COVID, and I did not want to do that right before the holidays. So it's after Christmas now. I've seen my family. I think that this person is actually asymptomatic at this point. They've been quarantining for 2 weeks or whatever. So we're gonna go get it. So yeah, we've got the trailer. We've got everything we need. Let's go. We got it. There she is, the 03 dark shadow gray Mach 1. Yeah, drove it right up on the trailer. It's an automatic, so basically idled right up on the trailer, no problems. So it's gonna be dark here soon. This time of year, it gets dark at 3:30. So we'll get home, probably do a walk around to the car in the daylight tomorrow. But yeah, should be a fun little project. Well, here she is off the trailer, just out for a little drive to check things out. So I haven't driven it yet, I just kind of picked it up. Seems to drive pretty good so far. No weird noises that I can see. I'll do a full walk around when we get back to the house, but yeah, drives good, sounds good. So we hopped right in this thing, take it for a drive, because I did not do that when I bought the car. So we're just driving it around now and make sure everything's... It's pretty loud, so hopefully you can hear me. I believe it has a off-road X-pipe and SLP LM1, which I believe stands for Loudmouth 1. So it is a little loud at times, but seems to drive good, run good. Heat works great. It's pretty cold today. Drives smooth, shifts through all the gears. So we'll get back to the house and do a little walk around, and I'll show you guys what the car's gonna need. Well, here's what we got. It's the 03 Mach 1, 42,000 original miles, same owner since 2009. Just got back from our little test drive. Runs and drives good. Doesn't, no weird sounds, no shakes, no shimmies, nothing like that. So I think mechanically we're in pretty good shape. No leaks that I can see. Cosmetics that the car needs. First of all, these American Muscle Special window louvers, gonna go in the trash. This one's already missing off this side, but I believe it's in the trunk. Some damage here from where I believe the carport collapsed. So we're gonna have to fix this, figure out what we're gonna do with that. Got a little bit of a dent in this fender here, more like a bend, but I believe we can just bend that right out. Just like the rest of these, the headlights have hazed over, so we'll get a new set of those. And it's just dirty, man, you know, needs a little bit of cleanup. Paint chip here, can touch that up. Other than that, really straight car, clean underneath. Just needs a little bit of love, just how I like them. Nothing too crazy. It's locked. I'll show you the inside though. Inside's super, well, not right now, but super clean. You know, no blown out bolster. Seats are in good shape. Everything's here. It's all correct for the Mach 1. You know, Mach 1 specific seats. Shifter bezel, pedals, cluster. Clean car. So a little bit of love. I think she'll end up looking really good. And get her back on the road. It looks like she's been off the road basically for 4 or 5 years. So I'm gonna go through it, get it looking good again, and back on the road. Someone will really like it. Alright, so we got the headliner basically free, but doing a little more inspection here. It's actually glued in several spots to the roof, and I have access now just by pulling it down a little bit to this area that I'd like to repair. So I'm not going to completely remove it, just so that there's some of the original glue left in the rear holding it on. No real sense of going any further, so I'm going to get out the body hammer and start tapping these dents from the inside. Then, like I said, we'll sand this and repair it with some body filler as best we can. Get it nice and smooth and good up here, and it'll be ready to be wrapped. So I've been in here with the body hammer and dolly, working on this area up here where the dent was. So I think I got it, a lot better than it was. Definitely still going to need some sanding and filler, but no major divot like there was before. So I think what I'm going to do next is tape off this area, sand it down to bare metal, and get some filler and primer on it, and get it looking nice and smooth. Next day here, and forecast said that it was supposed to be, you know, mid 40s, which is balmy for almost, you know, for almost January. So I figured I'd, you know, get a head start on washing the Mach, but the fact that I can't really feel my hands and was sliding on ice out in the driveway just now tells me that it's probably just around freezing. So coming up in the garage, gave this thing a wash just so we can get started on, you know, paint correction while it's cold out. Got all the, you know, contaminants off and whatnot. Here's our little repair on the roof. Looks pretty good already, just in primer. A little bit of dimpling here, so I'm gonna hit this with probably, you know, 400 grit, and then we can get a little bit of body filler on there, sand it, and then prime it one more time, and then we'll be ready to wrap the roof, which I ordered today. So yeah, let's do that next and get this roof knocked out and move on to the next thing. So while we're waiting for this body filler to dry, I figured I'd tackle this dent that was right here. It's kind of sunk down. Got it almost perfect. I mean, as good as it can be for a 90s Mustang. You know, these gaps aren't all even from the factory. They checked the same thing on the other side. Much better. Almost perfect. Like I said, you'll still be able to see where whatever this was that hit it. But other than that, looks really good. Also decided to drain the tank while we were waiting. Fill the car up with some fresh 93. I don't know what's in there, how long it's been sitting, so we'll save that old stuff for snowblower gas or something. And you know, now we know that there's fresh gas in this thing. So I'm gonna let this dry a little bit longer and then sand it down and maybe use some, what do you call this stuff? Glazing putty, just in case we have any pinholes. Then we can prime it and the roof will be done. So that dent's all set. And then the last thing is there's a dent here that I might see if we can, you know, pop out. So other than that, the body is pretty much immaculate. So once that's done, we can wrap the roof and then get on to paint correction here. All right, so our repair is complete. Primer dried. He sanded it with, or wet sanded it with 400 grit to get rid of this, you know, primer tape edge there, and some 600 grit. And this thing is smooth as a baby's bottom, ready to go. Normally, if you were painting this whole thing, you'd sand this whole panel with probably 600 grit, which is what we finished with here. So if someone did decide they wanted to repaint this, they'd just finish sanding the rest of the panel with 600 grit. But this is nice and smooth now. Should be good to go on the wrap. So let's get this cleaned off and get this roof wrap satin black. all done. Came out awesome. You know, definitely not an expert wrapper here, but came out really good. Took me longer than it probably should take most people, but that's all right. You know, the roof looks perfect, especially compared to, you know, how it used to be. We had all this damage here. Can't even see it was there anymore. I think the matte black looks really good. Matches the spoiler, matches the stripe on the hood, as well as the hood scoop and the stripe on the side. So you can see I've already got it taped off. Basically next is paint correction, interior detail, new headlights in, just basically completely go through the car as far as detailing and getting it ready for sale. The roof was the biggest job on this thing, and that's done. I'm gonna save that for the next video though, so you know, stay tuned for the next one and we'll see this thing come together and get ready for sale. So see you next time.